All right, who's ready for presidential politics? Again. I mean, now that 2012 is over, it's time to look ahead to 2016, right? It's just humorous for a little bit. A few Democratic possibilities that seem to be at the top of everybody's list. You got Vice President Joe Biden, Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, who took the top spot in a recent poll asking this very question, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, and Maryland Governor Martin O'Malley. Republican side, the bench seems to be a little bit deeper. New Jersey Governor Chris Christie topped his party's poll. Marco Rubio out of Florida, Paul Ryan, he's the former VP nominee from this year, former Governor Jeb Bush, because it's been one election cycle without a Bush running, former presidential candidate Rick Santorum, Governor Bobby Jindal of Louisiana, Senator Rand Paul. Then there are the others that don't really fit any category, Mayor Michael Bloomberg and Colin Powell. Who do you think might be, if you had to pick two names, pick a name from each side?
I'll pick two on the Republican side very quickly. I'll say Rob Portman, Senator of Ohio, and Jeb Bush, former governor of Florida. On the Democratic side, I would say it's a toss-up right now between Hillary Clinton and Andrew Cuomo.
You really think American voters would vote for another Bush?
I think it's possible, absolutely. He has name recognition, he could bring the party together, and he's really been pushing, even during this presidential election, to bring the Republicans more into the moderate.
That name recognition may actually be more trouble than it's worth right now. Michael, what do you think?
I'm probably going to get an angry call from Albany about this, but I think it's Hillary Clinton's to lose. And I actually think it's Jeb Bush on the Republican side.
Dominic?
Jeb Bush, and you already know.
We have this fight every other
You already
day.
know who the Democratic nominee is. I didn't say candidate. I said nominee. It's Hillary Clinton.
I'm going to go.
It's hers.
I'm going to go with Joe Biden and Rick Santorum. And Santorum, because Republicans generally go for the next guy in line, and based on 2012, I would think that would be
Joe Biden.
Oh yeah, yeah. Why not? Hillary's not running. I hate to break this to you. Hillary's not running.
Notice it wasn't Hillary on the Sunday talk shows. It was Susan Rice. Notice it wasn't Hillary.
I don't think Susan Rice is running either.
Well, but the point being that Hillary didn't make that mistake. Notice that.
That's true. That's true. And she's in Israel right now, and we wish her the best of luck. All right, let's switch topics to presidential politics we can all agree on. Abraham Lincoln, the movie played by Steven Spielberg, it opened earlier this month. Rave reviews, profiles the 16th president's final months in office and his leadership in a deeply divided nation.
It's either the amendment or this Confederate peace. You cannot have both.
How many hundreds of thousands have died during your administration?
Congress must never declare equal those whom God created unequal.
Leave the Constitution alone.
We're stepped out upon the world stage now, with the fate of human dignity in our hands. Blood's been spilt to afford us this moment. Now!
Two questions that come from this movie, and I'm dying to see it because it keeps getting all these. Has anybody seen it?
Not yet.
All right, well, we know what we're all doing at some point this weekend. But you're talking about a deeply divided nation and looking for somebody to sort of lead everybody out of that. Do you think that resonates right now? Do you think there's any chance that maybe that kickstarts the current electoral system we have, the current government that we have? Probably not.
I don't see it. I think what we argue about now is about the issues on the fringes, and I think that what was going on then was about recasting the trajectory of the American narrative, and I think that was big stuff. That was real stuff. And what we're talking about now, fiscal cliff and bond ratings and EU bailouts, it's small potatoes compared to what was happening then.
Is there anybody from American history, president or not, that you would like to see get the Spielberg treatment, that you would like to see have a movie made about them, maybe hasn't gotten enough attention, or maybe the story's been lost on people?
Teddy Roosevelt. I would love to see a story about Teddy Roosevelt and his relationship with McKinley.
What about it? What's your hook on that?
I always found it interesting how he dealt with the Democratic machine in New York, and the story is always told that they kicked him out to become vice president because they wanted to get him out of his hair. Plus, what he had to deal with as the police commissioner of New York City. I find it very interesting. Being a Long Islander, I'd love to see a Long Island president Spielberg make a movie about him.
Michael, I'm giving you a studio green light, and I'm giving you studio money. Who's your movie?
I think Oliver Stone already did Nixon. I'd like to see Spielberg do it. I think those would be the opposite sides of the coin on a very complicated president and complicated person.
Dominic?
You already know. I mean, Obama, you already know one's going to be done on him. I mean, the fact that he made history, the fact that he got reelected, I mean, the fact that he had to deal with all of those, what's a good word for this, kamikaze, T-ball Republicans.
You're already working on your screen test for that, is it?
Oh, yeah. Me and Denzel.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one. I would go with FDR. I think there has been a movie, but I think we would do well to relearn some of the lessons that FDR was trying to teach. All right, we're going to take a break. Up next, the power of retail. Black Friday is approaching just after Thanksgiving. So tonight we're going to take a closer look at the impact of retail on the overall economy. New report shows that how raising wages for retail workers could impact the entire economy as a whole. Stay with us.